What's up, everyone? It is your girl GELBEAUTY here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into ranking all my shimmer palettes. So I've been ranking a few things in my collection throughout now, just to kind of get a sense of how I feel about this stuff, along with sharing it with you all, because I want to kind of get rid of some stuff and, you know, like calm down my collection somewhat, since I keep getting stuff in. And I'm trying to teach myself that just because, you know, you do a lot of dupe videos, you don't have to hold on to stuff you don't necessarily like. You can just pop up a picture. But I'm the type of person who likes to have it since I'm here. So I'm doing these to kind of help myself see what I really like and what I really don't like. Because at the end of the year, every year, I usually send stuff off to my cousins as Christmas presents, and all the stuff that I don't use throughout the year, or stuff I don't necessarily like, I give to them. So that's the purpose of me making a lot of ranking videos, if anyone was curious. But I have 22 shimmer palettes to rank for y'all today. Yes, I know it's a lot, honey. It's a whole, sorry, it's over 22, because I did 22 there. 23, sorry, 26 palettes I have to rank for you all. So without further ado, let's get into it, because y'all know me, I'm talk a lot, and I still gotta rank my Halloween palettes, so it's a lot. Let's get into it. So number 26 is the Viseart Grande Pro Volume 2. I just don't ever reach for this one. Out of all the shimmer palettes in my collection, this is the one I don't think about at all. So the ones at the bottom are the ones I don't think about that much, or I feel like I have better formulas from the brand, so I don't reach for these particular formulas from the brand. So it's not that the shimmers in here are bad at all. They actually give you a nice different variety of shimmers. It's just more of, this isn't a palette that I ever reach for in my collection. I ended up buying off somebody Macari secondhand, so that just, I mean, they had never used it either. So which is why they were selling it. So it's like, it's not that the palette is necessarily per se bad, it's just more of, you know, with all the shimmer palettes I do have and all the shimmers I have in my collection, it's just hard for me to be like, I'm gonna reach for this one when it's like so many other fun multi-chromes, dual chromes, textures, and things that I prefer. So another one you'll probably be shocked about is my Pat McGrath Mothership 5 Decadence palette, because I waited forever to get this. As you can see, I have the limited edition gold packaging that they were only supposed to put in the Star Wars collection, which is the only reason I was going to get it, because I wanted the Decadence palette. But they ended up coming out with it later, and I got the original packaging that came with it, but in the gold packaging, thank God, because that's what I really wanted. But I don't really reach for this palette that often, and I remember when it first came out, I was going to buy it for my birthday present for myself, and then I looked up on Sephora and it was gone, and it just didn't come back, and I was just like, okay. But when it finally did came back, I wanted to get an experience. But it's just everyday metallics, regular shimmers. It's not like anything special or wonderful like I thought it was going to be. So I feel like that's why I don't reach for it as often, because it's like she has dual chromes and multi chromes in like her well, not multi chromes, but she has like dual chromes and stuff in her other like everyday palettes that have mattes and stuff that are easier for me to access and use. So that's why this one is number 25. Another one you'll be shocked about. I feel like some of these at the bottom you're gonna be shocked about, but I just feel like the brand has better formulas, or they have other palettes I reach for more. So number 24 is the Plain Jane Remastered palette from Adept. I was never really a huge fan on Plain Jane, first of all. That's why the first one I bought was Ninhydra, because this one came out first. Well, the original Plain Jane came out first, and then Remastered came out. And I was just kind of like, it's okay, it's cute. And that's still how I feel about this. I wanted to see how this one compared to the original one. I'm not going to put the original one in here because you can't get it anymore. I tried to keep the one that they did have. And I don't know, this one was just never exciting to me. I don't reach for it that often, if ever. And I tried to rank it based on how I'm reaching for it as well, not just what I think of the color story, because you can think of color story, it's beautiful, and not really reach for it that much. So that's why she's 24. 23 is the Danessa Myricks Lightworks Volume 4 Transcendence Palette, Illuminating Eye and Face Pigments. So y'all know why this is lower, because of this row right here. Like, I just can't. And then a lot of these tones I gave y'all a whole comparison video of the Unearthly Cosmetics All I Ever Wanted Volume 2 palette, which has a lot of similar tones in here, and you don't have to worry about these annoying shades right here that nobody seems to really like that much. I've heard very few people like them, and most people don't. So that's why this one is number 23, just because I like the color story of this. I like the actual shimmers in here. I just don't like this middle part, which makes me not want to reach for it, because it's like, I know it's gonna be a row of shimmers missing. It's gonna be a row of something that I don't like to use there, so I just prefer not to reach for it at all, because it's like, I don't like those shimmers, so I'm just not gonna, you know, be bothered. So that was number 23, right? So number 22 is the All I Ever Wanted palette. What she looks like on the inside. I know when this first came out, it was all the rage and everybody loved it, and I really like it too. It's just I like the second one a lot better, and I reached for the second one a lot more than I reached for this one, so I didn't think it'd be fair to pair them together when it came time to rank them, because I don't use them that way. and I used the second one way more than the first one, so that's why this one is at the bottom. I don't think you can get this one anymore at all. You can only get All I Ever Wanted Volume 2 on their website, and they're supposed to be having a sale coming up for Halloween. That's supposed to be like their Black Friday sale, and you get 40% off stuff, so just keep that in mind. Next, at number 21, I want to say. I said I had 26. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. I was right, 21. So 21 is it's Belle Cosmetics Breaks the Rule palette. I know this was #1 for Net's Makeup Corner when it first came out. I like the palette. I just have certain color preferences, and I feel like this doesn't meet the color preferences of stuff that I really like. This one shade on the end, Your Choice, does, and these like 2 shades right here do, and these 2. But it's like, as a whole, like, I like the Dawn of Fall palette from this brand better than I like this one, so that's why this one got ranked where it did. I just have a color story I like from them better. Not that I don't like the brand at all. If you all remember, they sent me their Fruity Brown palette in PR this year, so clearly I like the brand just fine. I bought from the brand before they sent me that PR, so I like it just fine. It's just, you'll see the other one I like better higher up, because I have one I like better. So next I have the Sorcery palette from Lisa Eldridge. I always want to make her Linda Holberg. I don't know why. But this is what the palette looks like on the inside. It has one like matte shade in it, but as you can see, it's majority shimmer, so I just went ahead and squares in here. I'm like, because this one matte shade is not, I don't know. I just think of this as a shimmer palette because I don't see myself using this that often. So this is number 19. I love the shimmers in here. I love the way it looks. It's just, I don't really reach for this that often because, I don't know, the formula wasn't as impressive to me as I was hoping it would be. So I like the color story of it, and it is nice to look at and nice to use when I do use it. It's just, I don't go out of my way to use it. And I feel like that's, like I said, has been the running theme of this video. Like, if I'm going out of my way to use it, or if I'm going to use it a lot, I feel like it should be higher up than if I'm not. And I'm not. So moving on to number 19, which is the Danessa Myricks Lightworks Volume 3, the Experience palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. It has this weird creamy-ish shade right here called Polaris, and it has a lot of shimmers in here that I really have that are similar to other shimmers in my collection already, but I wanted to try her formula, which is why I bought this. So since I already have shimmers that are similar to this, I didn't really feel excited or the need to be necessarily brushing out to get this or like using it a lot, because I have other shades that look similar. Like the shade Strawberry Moon, I have a shade in one of my Ooms Eye palettes that has mattes in it as well that's really similar. So a lot of the shades are just similar to other shades already in my collection, and since I'm not big on using all shimmer palettes, and the ones I do use you are going to see towards the top of this list, I just didn't feel the need to, you know, go out of my way to get that. So that's why she's number 18. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to go through and put stuff back as I go, because it's like I don't want to have to try to pick all this stuff up and deal with all this after I get done filming. I want to just be able to, like, you know, pack it up and go. So number 18 is this Jungle Lights from Flower Beauty, believe it or not. I think this is a really nice shimmer formula, and I think it's a great drugstore alternative formula if you want to, you know, have a nice shimmer palette to use and you're in a pinch, because you can actually go pick this up at CVS. So they have that neutral one at CVS along with this one. So if you're in a pinch and you need to pick up something, I would definitely recommend you pick up this one, and maybe use your bronzer and the crease and just use one of these shades on your lid to have a nice wet metallic wonderful looking formula. So she's nice. I use it every once in a full moon. Majority of the time though, I'm reaching for my higher end things, because I feel like since I paid more for it, I should, like, you know, utilize it more. So number 17 is the Master Metallics from Makeup by Mario. If y'all remember when he first came out, he came out with the all matte palette, and then he came out with the all shimmer palette. I only bought the all shimmer palette because I don't like neutrals, and he still hasn't come out with too much that isn't neutral, so his eyeshadow preference just isn't for me. But this shimmer palette works nicely. It has a nice little you know, bluish green, like cool tone section, and then I feel like a lot of it's a more warm tone. I like the formula that's okay. It's nice. It works nicely. It's just, you know, there's so many other things in my collection that do so much better, so I'm just like, whatever, okay. So number 16 is the Dragon Fruit palette from Emily Valley Marie and Cleone Cosmetics. I like this palette. It's just, I feel like when it comes to the formula, it gives you a lot of like more satin-esque shimmers as opposed to sparkly bam pow shimmers in your face, and I like that when I want an all shimmer palette, because I'm coming to you for that bam pow, and I feel like this since she made this a palette that you can use all over, make whole eye looks with, it doesn't appeal to me as much because it has different formulas of shimmers and whatnot. I prefer she did an all sparkly dual chrome multi-chrome shimmer palette, kind of like the Danessa Myricks and all that. So that's why this is where it is for me. It's a really gorgeous palette. I do reach for it. It's just I don't reach for it as much as some of these other things. So next we have, I think this is number 15. I want to say this is 15. I hope I'm right. This is the Skewed palette from Diypansy. I know a lot of people didn't like this palette. I actually really liked it. I didn't know what was wrong with them. Like, I think this is a great shimmer palette. I like this weird pearish wrinkle shifting to gold shade. I like the orange with the green shimmer reflex in it, and I like these two deeper shades. So I really like this. The only shades I don't really rock with that often is the inner circle here with the two different pans, and I usually just use that as an inner corner shade on top of like the orange, or for a pop of pink when I'm doing something. So I really like this palette, and I actually reached for it quite a bit in spite of other people saying they didn't like it. I really thought this was a really good and unique one for them, so I like it. Number 14 is going to be the Dawn of Fall. This is the other palette I told you about from Isabel Cosmetics that I really like. This is what it looks like on the inside. To me, it just screams fall, and I feel like it just gives purple something extra, especially shade right here called Caramel Apples. Like the way it shifts from like a bronze to like a more mauvey pinkish purple shade, I really like that tone. I also like the shade Deep Forest because it's like one of those bright blue turned into like green shades, and the shade Riverside. So there's a few shades in here I really like, mainly the three I just named, but when I reached for this palette, I feel like it just gives something extra to my look that if I was using another palette it wouldn't give. So that's why I love to reach for this one, especially in the fall time, especially because it's called Dawn of Fall and it meets the theme perfectly. Next I have Paint Me Chrome palette from Plain and Makeup by Yolanda. I really like the color story of this one. To me, this is the black girl friendly version of the Plain Jane palette from Adept. I think that's why I don't reach for the Adept one as much, because I have this one and I feel like I like the formulas and shifts in here better. They are similar, but at the same time I feel like this one just gives a little oomph and amps it up just a little bit more. Now the original one, I don't know if I would like this one more than the original one, but I like this one definitely better than the remastered, and I've had to show the one that she still makes for you all, so that's why this one is above the remastered. I like this better than the remastered, but I don't necessarily like this better than the original. Okay, so I think this is 10. So we have the Don't Be Jelly from Unearthly Cosmetics. I don't think they make this one anymore. They only make the new one, but this is a all shimmer palette, and this was the first one she came out with. I don't have the new one. I gave y'all a whole video on why I didn't buy the new one and why I haven't bought anything from the brand this year since I bought, I think the holiday palette, the Dead of Night. But yeah, this one is really nice. I would like to really pair this one with my Color of Rain palette from GlossGods, because that one is amazing. This one is nice as well, though. It has a lot of blue, green, purple shifting shades that y'all know I love to use, so obviously it would be higher than some of the other ones. They look pink in the pan, but some of them turn different shades depending on how you're looking at them, where you're looking at them. So I really like, maybe I should do it like this when you see in the mirror. See how the shades are different on camera than they are like in the pan. But yeah, I really like this palette when I use it quite a bit because she's a nice one. Okay, so I think we're at number 9 now, and this is the Danessa Myricks. This is the newest one, Lightwork Volume 5 I Am palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. I love the fact that she did the split pan situation like Diypansy, but she has like 2 different shifting shades as opposed to those like chrome paints and whatever that you have to use to activate with water or whatever. I appreciate the fact that she listened to us and got them taken out. I like when makeup brands listen to what you say. So I've really been enjoying this so far. I haven't used it that much. I think I used it like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, I think it was like 3 times I used it, but I had to leave it here for this video, so now I can take it home and use it. So I'm excited about that because I definitely want to be able to take it home and use it some more in some looks and use it with some of my own matte palettes and things like that. So she's been good so far, so I figured I'd put her where I put her because I have been using her more than the other ones. But in all fairness, I've been using her more than the other ones because I have to, you know, kind of like get a good feel for her. Next, I'm gonna pair a couple of them together just because they're all like the same size and they're from the same brand. So the Pat McGrath ones are number, I want to say this is number 8. So I'm just pairing all these quints together. So these are the 2 from Star Wars. This is Divine Drone and Sith Seduction, and then I have Bourgeois Bliss from this holidays collection. So they're just all like shimmer palettes. So this one to me is a miniature version of Midnight Sun. If you don't like Midnight Sun, I personally don't. I like this one better than Midnight Sun, but it's all shimmers that I can just put with another palette. But I feel like you could pair this with Midnight Sun and get some really nice looks if you're interested. I don't think those are out anymore though. Divine Drone to me is just like a all shimmer version of the Nocturnal Nirvana palette. If y'all remember the Nocturnal Nirvana quad, this definitely gives me the vibes of that with a lot of the tones they chose, because you got the green, the blue, the purple, and the same thing is in there, and you just get like I think a shifting shade from green to purple or something like that. But I really like this one. I would pair it with that, or just pair it with like a interesting all colorful matte palette. And last one we have is Bourgeois Bliss. And to me, this is just like an all shimmer mauve tone. So if you wanted to do like a mauve smoky eye, you had a neutral palette and you paired this with it, or you had like a neutral matte quad, you could pair this with it and make a nice look. So I'm putting these at number, what is number 8, or are they number 7? I think they're number 7. Yeah, so number 6 is the, what is this, the Trove quad from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I really liked the shimmers in here. Like, I just think it's awful tiny for the price, but they worked nicely. They looked good. I do reach for this pretty often, especially when I'm using the Laura palette. I'll usually pair this with the Laura palette since they came out together. I keep them stored together because I have to do my yearly ranking at the end. But I really like this little quad. She's cute. She's nice. She does a good job. And I reach for quite a bit. So, number 5. Yeah, y'all be at the end. I feel like you shouldn't be surprised with what the top 10 things are. Of course, y'all know my Pat McGrath quads are going to be in here. So we have Nocturnal Nirvana and Ritualistic Rose. So let's start off with Nocturnal Nirvana, so you can see what I was talking about with the other one. So you got this gold, but then you got a blue, then you got this green that shifts to purple, and then you got a true like royal purple. So y'all know this had to be in here. I was not playing games. I don't play about my Pat McGrath. So this was number 5, along with Ritualistic Rose. I'm just putting them both together since they're both like all shimmer quads, and I love them. If you love a more rosy toned or rose gold mauve-ish type situation, I feel like you would like this quad so much better. But y'all know I love both of them equally. I love my Pat McGrath stuff. So these had to be in it. These are going to be my forever, like, just all-time favorite quads from Pat McGrath. I need her to do some more quads like this. I don't know why she's being so stingy, y'all. Like, these were just amazing. And I don't understand how she could get rid of them and never do them again. Like, she's just mean. Like, you need to make more like this. Or just put these in a palette again and just add some blue, green, and purple mattes like we've been asking you to, and that'll be okay too. We just want more. Mother, give us more. We need more of it, okay? I need more. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna speak for myself. I need more. Okay, so number 4 is the Color of Rain palette from GlossGods. I told y'all I love this palette. Look how dirty and loved she is. Like, look at how many I have dipped into. I think I've dipped into just about every shade in here. I know I did it for the swatch video, but I mean, like, on my eyes, I still feel like I have used all these on them at least once. I'm here for it. I'm obsessed. I love the color story of this. This is definitely a perfect palette for someone like me who loves the blue, green, purple moment. If you love a blue, green, purple moment, you need to pick up this palette. I do have a code with GlossGods if you're interested in getting this palette, because I did finally restock it. I know it's been out for a while, but it's actually been restocked, so you can go ahead and pick it up. I try to link as many of these palettes as I can remember, but y'all know some of them don't exist anymore. So if you don't see it down there, that's because it don't exist anymore. Or it was limited edition and it might be out of stock. Next, I have the Clean Cosmetics is number, what is this, 3? This is the Deep Sea Treasures palette. Y'all know I've been using this quite a bit. The shade Saltwater Pearl is just everything. Like, oh my goodness, y'all. The shades in here are just so perfect. This is what I was talking about when I said I wanted it to be more shimmering and impactful when it came to the Clean and Emily Valley Marie. She has some satin ones that you're supposed to be able to use as transition shades. And you're supposed to be able to use like a whole palette and just use shimmers as a whole palette, which isn't my personal preference, which is why that one was so much lower than this one is. But this one is definitely my preference. If we doing all shimmer, we need to do all shimmer, sparkly, glittery, extra. Now, some of these are a couple of that satin situation, but they're good to put on the outer view where the matte is to marry the shimmer and the matte together and still have a nice transition without having to go in and put matte back in like you all normally see me do. So that's why I really like this one, because I feel like they use the appropriate shades as deeper ones. Not that she didn't, it's just since hers is supposed to be a more use it all over your face or use it all over your eyes as a whole look thing, I wasn't vibing with that as much as I vibe with this one. So number 2 is my All I Ever Wanted palette. All I've wanted too from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is why I told you all that Danessa Myricks is so further down, because look at this. A lot of the colors you see in here are very similar to that palette, but you don't have that row in the middle of those shades that I don't necessarily like, that make me annoyed with the palette. So that's why this one is so much higher up. You can still get this palette, if I remember correctly, on her website. I think it says that the ones that they have left are defective though, so I don't know what they mean by defective. You've had to read up about it, but the color story of this is amazing. And if you want to see that video, you can just search for it on my channel. I think it's under the Battle of the Other, old school versus new school, one of those things. You should probably just check the dupe playlist or the Battle of the playlist, and you should be able to find it. So number one, y'all, everybody knows what number one is, right? Everybody say it together. Adept Cosmetics. Adept Cosmetics Seahorse Palettes. Y'all know I've been using this thing like crazy this year, so where else was it gonna go besides be number one? I mean, it needs to be number one. It got that number one spot because it was just the best. I'm sorry. I love it over all these other ones. Now my top 10, if I had to choose between my top 10, then I don't know. But like, I know this would still be in my top 10 for sure. As you can see, she's number one. This palette is amazing. If you do not like it, I am so sorry. I don't know what's wrong. I will keep you in my prayers, because this palette is amazing. Like, I love it so much. I love the fact that it's nice pastel shades that transition to different shades, and just, I feel like that's the perfect inner corner eye pop palette for somebody like me who loves like bright fun colors, but I still feel like it's good to make whole eye looks too. So if you're a person who likes just a certain inner color pop, I feel like you would like this. But if you also like just gorgeous pastel-y like shimmers to use year round, I definitely feel like this is a good palette for you. I love it. I am obsessed. I'm so glad I have it in my collection, and that's it. That's all I got to talk about, girl. Yes, you sat here for 20 minutes and watched me talk about shimmer palettes. Wasn't it lovely? No, but I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. You can comment down below and tell me which ones are your favorite. Did you expect the top 10 to be what it was? Because I feel like you should have, just knowing me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.